Hello, everyone. Hola, mundo. Welcome, world. And welcome to Voces Poderosas 2023, 2023. I'm Jackie Bouvier, and I'm shining the light on our nation's most powerful voices, voices of influence. I am creating a movement. Yes, I am. And that movement is inspiring and empowering our Latinidad during Hispanic Heritage Month. All of this is being done through these powerful, influential human beings. Again, Voces Poderosas, it's a transformative mini series that features trailblazers, spearheads, catalysts, pioneers, these professionals that have insightful wisdom that will inform and that also will empower us and catapult you and me to the next level of success in our empowerment and in our lives, right? So today, without further ado, I have the grand honor and pleasure to introduce you to David Olivencia. He is CEO, Angeles Investors, #1 best-selling author, networking excellence. I love saying it like that, by the way. Fortune 100 tech executive, unicorn investor. Wow. Corporate board member. Oh my goodness. You, David, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on to Voces Poderosas. I'm pleased and honored to have you. You're not only a powerful influence, but you also have a story that I want you to tell. But you're also doing amazing things. And what I'm loving about this is that we're getting Latinos from all across the industries, from every area. And you're not the exception. You have so much to share. So can you please tell us, who are you? What is your story? What does Hispanic Heritage Month mean to you? And what is the cultural aspect of it? Because as we're all Latinos, but I'm all about las pupusas, right? What about you? So welcome, David. Tell us about you.
Sure. Well, hey, it's great to be here, and thank you for all you do in pulling these together. They're great, they're inspirational, and it's very much needed for our community. So thank you for what you do. So who am I? You touched on it a bit on the corporate side, right? I'm a senior technology executive, unicorn investor, and what I call exponential leader. I believe that with all these changes in technology, we're in a different time of exponential change, and then leading through that as well. That's kind of on the corporate side. In my day-to-day life, I'm a husband, I'm a father of three and a dog. And so that's a bit about me. I love to fish, and I live right outside of Chicago in the Indiana suburbs, but I've lived in Puerto Rico, I've lived in Michigan, I've lived in New Jersey, and I've got about almost 2 million miles traveling all over the country and the world. So that's a little bit about me. Um, as it relates to Hispanic Heritage Month and my story, all my family came from Puerto Rico. They came with minimal to zero. I mean, they didn't speak the language like many, right? So you have a disadvantage and no money, but through hard work and perseverance, been able to lay the foundation for a good life. My grandparents and my parents, when they were younger, they were in public housing a bit, a year or two to kind of get them on their footing. My father did not finish high school to support my mom. He got his GED in the Army. And my parents, they met because my grandmothers were cooks in a Puerto Rican restaurant. And I always say when my grandmothers were cooking chuletas and capurrias and all that, my parents were doing a different kind of cooking. Um, so I become the first. I become the first to go. I mean, I was athletic in high school and all that, but I was the first to attend college, first to graduate from college. Then I'm on this corporate tear, working at all these Fortune 100 technology companies. Accenture, Ford Motor Company, Oracle, Verizon, NTT Data, and then just climbing up the ranks there. Got an MBA from Notre Dame, and then opened my world to business, to faith, to investing in these startups. Right, I got to kind of understand how all this whole startup world works. So I did a bit of that, and started doing investing, and then was involved in a lot of different Hispanic nonprofits throughout my journey. So I have a kind of a corporate track, and then I had a track of Hispanic nonprofits, everything from Nishimba or Pro Hispanica, which I saw, Jackie, you were involved with. When I was a president of Detroit, I was a co-founder of an organization called High Tech, the Hispanic IT Executive Council, which is now one of the leading technology leadership organizations in the world. It just happens to be Hispanic focused. Did that. And then through all the angel investing I did through Notre Dame's network, Irish Angels, decided with all this network I had, hey, let's create an angel investing group focused on investing in Hispanic startups. And so we started Angeles 3 years ago. It's now, fast forward, it's one of the largest, fastest growing angel investing groups in America as well. We've invested in 22 companies. Our average check size is 200,000. Our largest check size is 1.6 million. We've launched a fund, so we're kind of pouring more capital and resources and doubling down on really helping, Hispanic founded or co-founded companies accelerate with capital. So that's a little bit about me, a little bit about my career, kind of quick. And I'm on two corporate boards, right? It has always been a goal to serve on corporate boards. I'm on a bank board, Old Plank Trail Bank, a division of Wintrust, which is publicly traded on the NASDAQ, WTCF, and then a company called Schurz Communications. And I wrote that book, Networking Excellence, which was kind of fun for those who are listening. If you can grab it, you can get it you can get it on Amazon. It's sad. But as it relates to Hispanic Heritage Month, this is a great country. This is the greatest country and we live in the greatest country in the history of the world. At a point in history, right? It's not perfect, but it's given us so much opportunity. Because typically, when in 99% of the world, when you're born, like my parents and my grandparents, you and your generation stay poor, and you're kind of trapped in that cycle for generations, right? And so America has been able to give us that opportunity. So with Hispanic Heritage Month, right? I'm very proud of my Puerto Rican heritage, all the culture, the music. My grandparents and my parents instilled a lot of that in me in the family, but I'm also realized that it's all with America and the United States. It really gives us the opportunity to succeed. And I'd say the last thing on Hispanic Heritage Month is that my wife's from Colombia, and she came here. I met her in Colombia, and then had to bring her here. So she came here without as an immigrant, not understanding the language, and had to take that whole journey on. So I have that kind of perspective, and and then my kids are also. It's about instilling some of those values and culture and there, but big focus on education, because that's what's really changed the game for me. So a little bit about me, a little bit my perspectives on Hispanic Heritage Month, and happy to answer any other questions you have.
Wow, that's amazing. I think that's great. And Colombiana, huh?
Oh yeah, Paisa from
Huh?
Medellin. Yeah,
That's
but
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, I love it. I love Colombian women. They're very strong women.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's strong. She's strong. We had three kids, a dog. We've been in, like, I don't know, because I traveled a lot and moved. We've been in, I think, 10 different homes. So
Oh, wow.
she's been a great partner for me. And actually, a lot of the success and the things that I've done, right? You don't. It's very, very, very hard unless you have that strong foundation at home. And she's been the foundation and rock for me. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. I like how you explained the shift, right? The disruption that comes from uh feeling like you're trapped in a cycle of generational poverty in the mindset, right? And then we're given this opportunity in this country to just kind of get out of it, right? I don't think I've ever heard it that way. I think that's powerful, and I wanna highlight that because it's very powerful to me to see it that way. I can't even explain to you what it did to me right now. I was like, "He's right. Wow." Like, we are disrupting this country, this nation, not only because we're Latinos, but because I think the definition of the American dream is just so much more different, right? And so just listening to you say that and wow, what a journey. Wow, how amazing you are. I am in awe. I'm truly honored and in awe of you and everything you've done. Inside me, I'm listening and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is so cool. I want to be this way when I grow up. It's one of those things that you just feel so much pride, just to listen to you and know that, we have human beings like yourself, Latinos, Hispanos, líderes like you to look up to. Thank you so much. With that, I'd like to ask you, what can you share? As a professional, what can you share in your industries? I guess because you have a little bit of everything, and experience to help it positively encourage or empower or shed light on professional Latinos? Or what would you say to like a college student that's looking up to you?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Jackie, I would say that in my career and life and whatever, there's a lot of people that kind of talk about things and have ideas and they think about they talk about problems and there's very few that take action and make things happen, right? So you like what you're doing with this program, right? A lot of people have the idea. They'd love to, but and I say very few, like percent, like 1%, 2% actually take action. So my first thing is, you know, think big, but don't be afraid to take action, right? So that's one thing I would tell, don't be the talkers, don't be the gather your, I mean, don't take action like shooting all over the place. Be very strategic and think about it, but be action focused. And then I'd say the second thing is like I learned, people always said, David, you're really good at networking, right? You've used networking to climb the corporate ladder. You've used networking to invest in these unicorn startups and help them and create high tech and Angeles and all the and so but and I wanted to write the book on it. I didn't like I'm good at it, but I didn't like the question is how and what do I do and what are the things that I learned over the time to really make so I took all my thinking and research and I interviewed people and I packed it into my book, Networking Excellence. And in the book I lay out all the things that you need to do to be excellent at networking. But the big thing is I capitalize the word work, right? And because you really have to put in the work, right? And then I talk about the three components of networking excellence, right? One is having a strong foundation, right? And it deeply understanding who you are, right? Setting the right goals and really thinking big about goals, right? There's so many things that I never thought I would do, and I've been able to do them, but you should never be afraid to set big goals. So the second was the goals. The third is the brand, right? Like what do we stand for? What's our purpose? And you were talking about that earlier, right? But each of us and those, whatever, those who are listening here, you have a purpose, right? You have a purpose, you have a brand that you have and where you want to aspire to. What is it? And make sure that the world knows what that is, right? And then the last part of this foundation, Jackie, is really what are the rituals and the routines that you do that power, your foundation and your excellence. And we have so much time. So this is maybe the last point is we have so much time, and if you're younger you got a lot more time than you do than me that I have left right now, but how we spend our time and the rituals and the things that we put in place, I think differentiate successful people from non-successful people, right? Really being deliberate about where and how you spend your time. And so having that strong foundation and the right goals in place, you can then prioritize how you spend your time and be laser focused on that. And then, you start identifying the right people, the right networks, you get out there and you help them be successful. And if you do those things, and then the net of it is my book goes in a lot more detail on it. But I think if you're, that's like the Cliff Notes version of it.
I think that's really good. As you were saying, I started to think about, how you prioritize time is very important. And like you said, we need to sleep and have the priorities in line because it does catch up with you. I agree 100%. And I think that's the best advice. And everyone out there, go get the book if you can and definitely read it. And I know I'm definitely getting that book today.
Get the book, get out there and network as well. Thank you.
Get the book. Thank you.